Welcome back to JaNae B series. I'm JaNae B. Thank you so much for tuning in to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about my story. Recently we did 3 documentaries on depression, anxiety, and heartbreak. If you didn't get a chance to watch it, go check those out. It's very deep and very insightful. I think it's worth watching. So the purpose of today's video is to talk about my story. I got a lot of feedback from the previous documentaries that I did, and a lot of people were wondering like, well, why did you pick those 3 topics? These are real topics with real people, real experiences, and I just wanted to bring awareness to it. I feel like especially in the Black community, it's kind of swept under the rug, talking about depression, anxiety, and heartbreak. So I wanted to bring light to it. And today I'm going to talk about my story because I experienced all 3, and out of the 3 I'm still battling 2, so it's very real. So when I was like 16 years old, I met a guy, and for my little cousins that are watching this, please do not follow in my footsteps because this is really bad. Met him, we started talking through the internet or whatever, you know, like that was really my boo or whatever. And turns out we ended up having a mutual friend. Basically, it was a love triangle with us. Not with the mutual friend, but with just me and him going back to his ex. And then, you know, I just felt like I never could really get serious with him. But at the time, I was just like, oh, I love this person. This is my first love. And looking back on it now, it's like, no, that was not real love. But my junior year, going into my senior year of high school, I want to say me and him really started to get serious. It wasn't no more like back and forth. It was to the point where like he's always over my house, always around my family. He met the whole side of my mom's family. Like my mom called him her son-in-law and everything. Like it was really serious. Like people loved him. And we're getting tickets and stuff for prom. So I buy the tickets and everything for me and him to go, getting my dress made, just everything. And out of nowhere, he cheats on me. He told me, the way he told me was like, okay, so we were always together, like I said, always over my house, everything. And then one day he didn't come. He didn't answer the phone call, he didn't text back, nothing. Like he went the whole day without talking to me, and I'm just like, what's going on? Like this isn't like us, because we were literally like this, like always around each other. So he finally texted me late at night, and you know, I'm pissed. Like he's like, oh, making up some story. Of course, I know this person, so I know when they were lying. But basically, the truth ended up coming out, and he's just like, he ended up going to a girl's house, and he couldn't follow through with what he planned on doing because he thought about me. And I'm just like, you know, if you're gonna tell the truth, either tell the whole truth or not. So for me, that really broke me because I really thought I was like deep in love with this person. We talked about getting married, and once we made it to our 20s, when we were in our teens, like we had a lot of future plans, and for me, I thought it was really serious. I just broke down, I was crying. I ran down the steps, I was crying like all dramatically. My brother's like, what's wrong with you? Like he didn't really know how to comfort me. So for my family, it kind of really hurt them too because they really loved this person, like they really liked them. And everybody really thought like we were going to get married and all of this. So I couldn't forgive that. But it was an awkward situation because remind you, like we still had prom tickets, and this happened way before prom even started. So I ended up having to still go to prom with him. So awkward. I still have the videos from prom. Like we were dancing, and the space between us was like so much space. I didn't even want him to touch me. We didn't even really talk in the car. Like it was just awkward because he's angry at me for leaving him, and I'm angry at him. It was just a mess. Through that experience, I definitely learned, and I just learned that it wasn't really real. I thought it was real at the time, but it wasn't real. But I ended up meeting somebody else, and while I was with him, this person did kind of try to like flirt with me, but of course, like me being the loyal person I am, I never really like feed into that when I'm with somebody. So now that I'm single, I'm on Twitter, and the person that was trying to, you know, flirt with me, this, that, and the third, I like mentioned them just to let them know, like, you know, I'm single, I'm kind of want to talk now type thing. You know, he DM'd me, and we ended up talking, and it turned into texting, and at first I thought it'd just be a situation of just like, I hate to say it, like a rebound, but it didn't turn into that. Like, it took like years. It turned into years, honestly. Like, I just thought it was just, oh, okay, kind of just to help me cope from my ex or whatever, or like my first love. But I ended up growing a really strong bond with this person, like a really strong attachment. It was a lot of firsts with them, and you know, it's just like, who was my ex? Like, I just forgot about my ex, and it was a lot of years with the person, like a lot of years. But then it was coming to a time where, you know, college is starting to start, and it's time to go off to college, and just that's when things kind of just went different. Like, for me, looking back on it now, I felt like because it was so many firsts that, I don't know, I was trying to hold on to something that was no longer there. And when you're attached to somebody and, you know, you just kind of hold on to the bond that you had with that person, I guess you're kind of like almost in denial. I want to say like I was really in denial about it. Like, oh, well, things will work out, kind of giving the person the benefit of the doubt. And like even my friends would be telling me like, no, like this person isn't treating you the same, like, you know, you just kind of have like false hope. And in the end, I know sometimes as females, we tend to break our own heart. And like, it really is true, because it's like something will be right in your face. It's like really obvious. But because you have that attachment and because you have this bond with this person, you don't want to really like face the truth. So in the end, I really was breaking my own heart. I should have been letting this person go, but I wasn't trying to, because I'm just like, no, this is my first, like, I'm like, I can't let that go. I have such a attachment and a bond with this person. I wasn't really getting treated the way I deserved to. I was given so much loyalty and so much love and just being the genuine person that I am, and it wasn't returned. And this isn't to bash anybody, like, that's not me. I'm not trying to bash anybody, but it wasn't returned all the time. We were never on the same page. It was never mutual. But looking back on it, I can definitely say I learned, like, you know, I know my worth now, and I know what I will and what I will not tolerate. And just from those two, from dating those guys that I felt like were really serious, those were my experiences. And that's why a lot of people are like, well, why are you single? And It's okay to take time to yourself to really heal. You don't need to be jumping into relationship after relationship after relationship, and what's meant for me will happen for me. So those are just my learning lessons as far as like heartbreak. I'm not really typically someone that really opens up. Like, I'm typically the friend that, you know, all my friends vent to about their problems, but even the strongest people need somebody. As far as depression and anxiety, if you watched my previous videos, Asia is right, they go hand in hand. I want to say for me, I didn't always have anxiety. Back in 2013, I was hospitalized. After being in the hospital, I was a different person. I have a condition where it's like you have air bubbles in your lungs, and it's really hard to breathe. It's similar to a heart attack. Yeah, it's really, really hard to breathe and cause really bad chest pain. So I was hospitalized for that back in 2013. They put me on all this medication that like I never really took before, like morphine and just strong drugs that I never took. And once I got out, I just noticed that I would be worrying a lot about a lot of different stuff, real like jumpy. My nerves were just like bad. I couldn't concentrate. Like it's real. It is very silent. You don't necessarily blow into a bag for it, like how they make it seem on TV. But you do have a lot of panic attacks, and for people that don't understand anxiety, it's hard to explain to them because they're just like, oh, what are you worrying about? Or just calm down. Especially like older people in my family, they're just like, well, you too young to be stressed out, or you too young to be having that or feeling a certain way. And it's just like, it's no age limit. I have little cousins younger than me, not even in their teens, that are saying they're depressed and going through anxiety issues. Like, it's no, I think people need to understand, it's no time frame, it's no time limit or age requirement to have it. It's something that triggers it, and you have to really learn how to cope with it. So I'm still battling it, but for me, I meditate, practice yoga, different methods on how I can keep my peace of mind and my serenity. When things are occurring in my life that are really stressful, it is hard for me to just let it go. Like, people just say, oh, well, just, you're worrying too much. That's just easier said than done. Like, that's so easy for you to say because you're not experiencing it. But for me, it's just like, in my mind, it's like, okay, well, how can I stop worrying? You're telling me that I'm worrying too much. Your mind is like, worry, like you're panicking, you're freaking out, and it's just like, that's not really helping. I'm trying to learn on how to deal with it. I mean, of course, my doctor wanted to put me on medication, but for me, I don't want to take medication for that. As far as like depression, I noticed depression for me triggers more so like, and that's probably hand in hand with anxiety, but for me, I guess I tend to be really hard on myself because I'm not where I want to be in life. I have this great vision in my mind, but I'm not there yet, so it's really frustrating. It just saddens me, and it's times where it's been, I want to say since December really, it's been times where I just would just lay in the bed, like I don't want to get out the bed. It's been times where I just haven't spoken to people, and it's nothing that they did and they don't understand, and I feel like I know they won't get it, so I don't even try to explain, but I just kind of like isolate myself. And I really don't like to be that person, you know, people, I'm really like bubbly, I'm a people's person, but it's really hard to kind of almost put this mask on, and people are almost like shocked. They wouldn't even really know what you're going through because I'm such a strong person, and like I said, people always come to me for all their problems and for all their venting and this, that, and the third. But people always come to me, and you know, I'm always the shoulder leaned on, but at the end of the day, it's just like the strongest person needs somebody. And it's kind of hard to try to open up to people that I guess they almost don't really understand. They can try. I don't know, it's probably a bad habit that I've learned to keep stuff all to myself because I feel like no one really gets it. So I've learned to kind of just hold it all in and put this mask on like I'm so strong and like everything's okay. But you know, I've had my moments where I would just break down. I would just think about something, and I don't like to cry in front of people or just to myself. And like my friends are like, well, come out, why aren't you coming out? Why hang out with me? And it's just like I really have to push myself to even get there or even want to be around people, want to be social. Depression really makes you isolate yourself. You aren't yourself. It's just really hard to battle because like I said, it's really like a mind thing. Like physically get yourself out of that mindset and out of that state. So those are the two things I definitely am battling right now. Little do my friends know, but talking to them about their reactions and their experience to depression and anxiety, it kind of just gave me some good insight. It's just like, wow, I almost felt hypocritical because I'm like, I put out these videos, but I'm actually the person going through it. But someone gave me great advice and was just like, you know, you can't help how you feel, and that doesn't make you a hypocrite. And that's very true. Like you can't control when depression comes. You can't control when anxiety comes, what it'll trigger. And that's just something I'm really learning. I'm just going to keep praying and just keep meditating until I overcome it. But this video was long overdue, and I felt it was just time. I kind of was really procrastinating on making it. It just was time to just release it and put it out there. It's important, and I don't think we should just keep sweeping those issues under the rug, because so many people have come to me and have told me, you know, oh yeah, I'm going through depression right now. Like, wow, it's good that you're talking about this, because I'm battling it right now. Males and females, like not just females, but males also. And if you guys just stick with me through my journey, you will also see so much more collaborations, interviews. I have a lot on the way, so you just have to stick with me through my journey, and you'll see a lot of great things. And I also will be having males on my channel. I get that question a lot. Yes, it's not just for females or anything like that. I will be having males. Just write it out with me, and you guys will see a lot. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching this video. If you haven't done so, please subscribe and also hit the notification button so you can know when I get a new video. And if you haven't done so, please check out my previous documentaries on depression, anxiety, and heartbreak to the right of me. Make sure you check them out, like and comment, you know, just give me your feedback. I want to hear it. Thank you so much again, guys, and just stick it out with me through my journey. You'll see so much more. Bye.